Hello, my friends. So, I welcome you all in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. So, today I did a session in which I asked Ra about Prince Philip, who recently passed away. And Ra has stated something really, really important for us to understand. He has stated in the session that this is probably the last lifetime for any entity in the third density on Earth. So from this time period, after an entity crosses over or passes away, and if it vibrates in the third density vibration, it will not come back to Earth, because Earth is now in the fourth density vibration as per Ra. And also Ra has stated that only the fourth density beings, after a period of time, there will be only fourth density entities with the vibration of fourth density on Earth. So that is what Ra has stated in the session. And also I asked Ra about Neuralink. Last time, I had done a video about Neuralink, in which the Andromedans, they had stated that Neuralink was kind of dangerous, and that video had been deleted by YouTube. I don't know why. I hope this video will not be deleted in the similar manner. And in this video, Ra has stated that there are bases on Mars as well. And recently, I don't know if you watched the YouTube, there is this machine on Mars which is taking pictures. It has found some peculiar looking images on Mars as well. And Ra has stated that there are bases on Mars, and these bases are of the Anunnaki species. And Ra has stated that further information about these bases will be given in the upcoming session. And in today's session, Ra also stated the dangers of Neuralink, and that Elon Musk is in contact with the Anunnakis. So Ra has covered all of this information in this session, and I hope you enjoy this session, and thank you once again for watching the video.
I am Ra, and I greet you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. Before we start to address your query, we would like to warn you to only accept those insights that resonate with your heart, and leave those that do not resonate without any second thought. Your planet is heading upward toward the formation of a social memory complex that can be considered as the union of a group of separate entities into one. There is no individualization of consciousness in a social memory complex. The query placed by this instrument today regarding a certain entity who is known by the vibratory sound complex Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, who recently crossed over onto the astral planes after its physical vehicle suddenly encountered, shall we say, the striking of the heart vessels, which is known in your vibratory sound complex terms as heart attack. This entity, however, during its time of separation of the physical vehicle, was conscious enough to realize that this was his time. This entity was not as confused as some entities on your plane who die of sudden causes such as accidents or other shocking means. This entity, upon realizing that it had separated from its physical vehicle, was met by its guides, who invited it to join it into the astral planes. However, this entity chose to stay back for 1 day of your time-space terms in order to view the morning and after effects of this entity's crossing over. This entity was fascinated by having regained its true spiritual powers, that of traveling to any place on the cosmos, and traveled to far-off space-times, and specially was desirous of going to the end of space-time, also known as the edge of the universe in your vibratory sound complex terms. This entity, on realizing that all of life on Earth it spent was just for the purpose of learning the lessons of polarization into the positive or negative, this entity then, along with its guides, went to the astral planes and underwent its life review process under the guidance of its higher self. Some of the actions that this entity had performed on Earth were negatively polarized, and some were positively polarized, thereby canceling its polarization with an equality of negative and positive. Hence, this entity has to repeat the third density cycle again in order to choose the polarity further. Therefore, this entity at this time space of your time, that of 12th April 2021, has already reincarnated into another planet in the third density vibration planet in the MACS 0647 galaxy, as known to your kind in your vibratory sound complex terms. As Earth is now in the fourth density, no third density vibratory complexes will reincarnate here again. Only the fourth density matching consciousness will incarnate on Earth from this point on, thereby slowly clearing the third density complexes from this planet. The second query placed by this instrument, that regarding the so-called neural link as developed by an entity known as Elon Musk in your vibratory sound complexes, whether it is safe or not for the ascension process. The so-called neural link, as this entity states, as we can sense from the vibrations of your planets, refers to a so-called company that aims at creating an integration of neurology to science and technology that will create devices that are supposed to aid in restoring beings with differently abled qualities. The thought behind this new mind complex in your planet has emerged from the one entity known to your kind as Elon Musk in your language terms. Furthermore, this entity is one such entity who is amongst your peoples and recently has created many agreements with the so-called negatively polarized Anunnaki species and the Greys for the creation of human hybrids that will assist in the final push of the negative forces on the planet Earth. And this primary distortion is the ending of free will on the planet, which these entities desire. These fifth entity Anunnaki species, along with their subordinate Grey counterparts, had approached this entity known as Elon to offer exchange of Anunnaki technology that could be used by this entity known as Elon to open a pathway for the Anunnakis to gain controlled distortions over the self-aware entities on this planet. The Anunnaki entities cannot directly appear on planet Earth in order to spread their negative agenda due to the quarantine placed by the Council of Nine. This is also the reason why they have chosen this entity known as Elon to work for their agenda, who has been penetrating the space surrounding your planet Gaia many a times. The Anunnaki distortion is to use this entity to create hybridization of the human species by ingesting the so-called brain chip inside the minds of human entities. We have recently noted that Anunnakis have formed bases on planet Mars that are being used to exchange information between this entity known as Elon and the Anunnakis. In the future sessions, we can explain in more detail about these, shall we say, bases on Mars and how they operate. As today, queries is not related to this subject, we further comment that this entity known as Elon is in contact with these fifth density Anunnakis who are guiding it to create such devices as the brain chip that can be used to control and destroy many physical vehicles at once and end free will on the planet. Further, this entity is infringing upon the free will of the second density entities, those of the monkeys and pigs, and recently a second density entity known as Pager, a male macaque with chips embedded on each side of its brain. Playing mind pong was shown to the human population. We know that such activities as infringing upon the physical vehicles of other animal entities on your planet without their free will is not only a negative-oriented activity, but the after effects of such an act could lead to the creation of species that are more dependent on human support. This entity known as Elon should not implant such devices into the minds of such second-density beings who do not have self-awareness without their distortion of free will. This is a negatively oriented activity in essence, and this is how the negative operates on your time-space. The Anunnakis have shared their technologies with this entity known as Elon, and this entity seems glad to use such technologies without being aware about the results that may approach it. This entity has been distorted by the Anunnakis, and under their mind complex effect, it desires to disguise in the areas of serving mankind. By using the so-called technology, however, anything that has to do with implanting and intruding on your physical vehicle is highly dangerous for your kind, because your physical vehicles are complete as it is, and any kind of devices that get implanted in it could lead to a host of problems for your kinds in the future, leading to failure of many physical vehicles. Furthermore, creating such technologies like the neural link that our brain developed can lead to a host of problems for your kind's evolution. Technology created with mind complex alone is unpredictable, and different forces such as the so-called entities as known by your kinds as the hackers and other negative focused beings on your planet can use mind-made strategies to gain access to other brain and neural link systems, thereby causing a lot of damage and unwanted control over other beings on your planet. This, shall we say, technology relies mostly on the internet and its services. It is our feeling that your kind should not focus too much on external technological assistance in the process of ascension. Spiritual ascension does not require any technological processes to you in ascending. Ascension can be accessed by going inside and finding your inner truth and connecting with the infinite consciousness. However, we must say that your kind has been given free will by the Creator at this time. Lastly, we leave you in the love and in the light of the one Creator. Therefore, go forth and rejoice in the power and in the peace of the one infinite Creator. Adonai.